carpel also called? Pistil. Excellent. Very nice. Pistil. Obviously, the symbol is G. Right? I am talking with the assumption that these parts have already been introduced in school. So I'm just going a little faster here. Okay? So calyx is made up of members called sepals. Corolla is made up of members called petals. Androecium ka member is stamen. And gynoecium ka unit is carpel. Okay. Okay. Now you know carpel is made up of stigma. The tube is called style, and this swollen portion is called as the ovary. I hope everybody knows that, please. Okay. So flower is reproductive unit meant for sexual reproduction. Great. A typical flower has 4 different kinds of whorls arranged successively on the swollen end of the pedicel. Pedicel is also the stalk. And what is that swollen end called? Thalamus or receptacle. Right? NCERT has a very funny way of describing things. कभी-कभी ऐसा लगता है कि उसका एक ही पर्पस है स्टूडेंट्स को कंफ्यूज करना. Right? So it has to be broken down into parts. So what is the pedicel? Right? It is the stalk of the flower. What is the thalamus? It is the swollen end of the pedicel. What is thalamus also called as receptacle? And what are these whorls? Calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Great. Is the classification clear, please? Acha, from the diagram, see, we could have easily done without the diagram also. ये सब आता है आप लोग को तो, right? But the purpose of making the diagram was to drive home one point. Can you see the 4 whorls arising from these 4 nodes? Can everybody read that, please? From this diagram, can you also see that it is the calyx which is the outermost whorl now? Calyx के अंदर से corolla is arising. From within the corolla we have the androecium, and from within that we have the gynoecium. So is it proper for me to say that calyx is the outermost whorl and gynoecium is the innermost whorl? That will never change. Come what may. कुछ भी हो जाए. The flower can have the highest level of modification, but this sequence will never change. Calyx always will remain the outermost. Gynoecium always will remain the innermost.
So 4 nodes will be present in every type of flower or only in this type?
Every time.
Even when it is in unisex?
Okay. Great. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. In calyx and corolla are accessory, so non-essential. Androecium, gynoecium are reproductive, the essential whorls. Okay. In some flowers like lily, please mark it as important, the calyx and corolla are not distinct. You know what is distinct? You cannot differentiate. Right? Difference nahi dikhta hai. It's a little odd here. Calyx as a structure is green. Corolla as a structure is colorful. You know, petals are colorful. So when I read that calyx and corolla are not distinct, मेरे दिमाग में 2 चीज आती है. Either calyx is looking like corolla or corolla is looking like calyx. So in both the cases you will not be able to differentiate. मतलब या तो calyx colorful होगा या फिर corolla should be green. That is when you say you can't distinct. I can think of a third condition also. When calyx and corolla are so reduced that it is difficult to differentiate calyx कौन सा है, corolla कौन सा है. That is the third case. In those cases when you cannot differentiate between a calyx and corolla, you will not use the terms calyx and corolla. You are going to use a term called as perianth. The term used is called as a perianth. Perianth का symbol is P. Perianth का symbol is P. Capital P. unit of perianth? Unit, members. Tepal. Not a sepal, not a petal. It is called as a tepal. So calyx is made up of sepals. Corolla is made up of petals. If it's a perianth, you will call it as tepals. Androecium is made up of stamens, and gynoecium is made up of carpels. Clear, please? Are all the symbols also clear to you? Okay. Now let us talk about a few characteristics of the flower. Of the flower. First, the flower can be complete or incomplete. If all the four floral whorls are present, we say the flower is a complete flower. Incomplete क्या होगा? Any of the floral whorls are absent, then it is a incomplete flower. Simple. All four whorls present, flower is complete. Any of the whorls are absent, flower is incomplete. Flower is bisexual or unisexual? How would you describe that? If flower has got both androecium and gynoecium, the flower is bisexual. And if it is either of them, then it is unisexual. Simple, ना एकदम. देखो ये भी describe किया है. When a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is bisexual. And a flower either having only stamens or only carpel is unisexual. Okay? Bisexual this is the symbol. This is an international sign convention for male and female. We know that, right? Now, the circle with the arrow is the male. The circle with the plus sign below is the female. So this is bisexual, right? Acha, if it is unisexual, can the unisexual be of two types? So either the flower is a male flower or the flower is a female flower. So can I call the flower as either a staminate flower or a pistillate flower? So will this be a staminate flower and this will be a pistillate flower? Is everybody following properly, please? What's a complete flower? What's an incomplete flower? What's a bisexual flower? What's a unisexual flower? One more thing. Bisexual is also called as hermaphrodite. When both sexes are present in the same structure, it is called as a hermaphrodite. Okay. If I state that a complete flower is always bisexual, would it be true or false? True. Complete मतलब चारों है, चारों में दोनों आ गया वापस. Okay. And if I say that a bisexual flower is always complete, may or may not be. Right? If a bisexual flower has calyx and corolla, then it is complete. If either one of them absent, it is incomplete. So a complete flower is always bisexual, but a bisexual flower may or may not be complete. You can make a note of that. A complete flower is always bisexual, but a bisexual flower now we are discussing the sexuality of the flower, right, in terms of presence of androsham, gynosham, whatever it is. Right, I would like to introduce a point which will be very useful not in this chapter but in some other chapter. Right, I would like to take this opportunity here and explain it here itself. Right, and for this point I would really appreciate if I can have your complete undivided attention towards the board. I'll give time to copy, no worries about that. Right, please, but I want you to listen very attentively to what I'm talking, because it's a very, very conceptual point, and till date even your senior students would falter at this concept. They would come and ask me, sir, explain this concept again. So please do it very, very attentively. It's very rare that I make this kind of a request, please. I'll make two types of flowers now, please. In fact, I'll make two types of plants. Okay? You'll help me with this, please. Let's say a plant has flowers. Staminate flower है, मतलब मेल फ्लावर हो गया. Pistillate flower है, मतलब फीमेल फ्लावर हो गया. So I'm having a plant where all the flowers are unisexual. This is a unisexual flower.
Yes.
I said unisexual can either be staminate or pistillate. So is this a unisexual flower?
Yes.
Is this a unisexual flower?
Yes.
So all the flowers on that plant are unisexual. And that unisexual flowers can be either male or female. मतलब both the sexes are present on the same plant, but in a unisexual fashion. When I get this kind of a condition on a plant, I say this is a monoecious condition. What do I call this condition as? Monoecious condition. So if I say a plant has got both the types of unisexual flowers, what is that plant called as? You will say it is a monoecious plant. But when I look at it a little differently, are both the sexes on the same plant?
Yes.
So can I call this plant as a bisexual plant also? Because both the sexes are also present on the same plant. Okay. Are both the sexes present on the same structure? Both the sexes present on the same plant?
Yes.
Right now, plant ka body is called thallus, and this kind of a thallus would be called as a homothallic structure. What is homo? Same. What is thallus? Structure. The plant body ka structure is called thallus. So are both the sexes present on the same thallus? Yes. So can I call this structure as a homothallic structure? Both the sexes present on the same, so I can call it as a bisexual structure. And also it is. So monoecious can also be called as bisexual. It can also be called as homothallic structure. But mind you, the individual flower remains as unisexual. The individual flower is unisexual. ये कंडीशन को ये तीनों टर्म्स यूज कर सकते हैं. Right? This is a very important term. So when it comes to you across as a question in the exam, you have to be very careful in reading the question, whether it is a unisexual flower or a unisexual plant. दोनों different हो जाएगा. Right? Is a bisexual plant having unisexual flowers?
Yes.
I know it's a little tough to digest, थोड़ा सा confusion यहाँ वहाँ आएगा, but you will have to do it. That's why. I am making a second diagram now, please. Let's say for example, I have a plant by the name of cycas. It's a gymnosperm. I'll not use a gymnosperm, we are doing angiosperms now. Let's say I use a plant by the name of Vallisneria. Vallisneria. Right? Vallisneria is a plant which is found in water. Right? Maybe after a year or so we'll come across the example of Vallisneria. We can talk about that. But Vallisneria का plant कैसा है पता है क्या? There is one Vallisneria where only male plants are present on the Vallisneria. And there is other Vallisneria where only female plants are present on Vallisneria. So we have a complete male Vallisneria plant or a complete female Vallisneria plant. Individually, are these unisexual?
Yes.
But now I find that these are two different structures. So for this, I say it is a dioecious plant. Is this one structure? Mono. Are these two structures? Di. But when I look at individually these plants, do I find only one sex on one plant?
Yes.
So what will I say such a plant as? It is a unisexual plant. But are these sexes present on different thalli? Different thalluses now? So that's why I will use a term heterothallic. Right? At this point of time, understanding monoecious and dioecious is very important. And it has to be done when you study the sexuality of the flower. Somebody else is saying. And we are doing the sexuality of the flower. Because it is related to the same. So when both sexes are present on the same structure, then it is a monoecious. When both sexes are present on different structures, it is called as dioecious. And these are the alternative terms which are used for this condition, please. Right? Can you please take this down now, please?
When we say this dioecious, that means that it is the same plant, they are just on different branches, right?
No. Two separate plants.
This is a bisexual plant, ना monoecious.
इसका मतलब ये होता है कि प्लांट मोनोइशियस हो या डायोइशियस हो, फ्लावर यूनिसेक्सुअल होगा. The flower is compulsorily unisexual.
So sir, when in a plant, when there is a one bisexual plant,
It will not come under the category of monoecious or dioecious.
sir, dioecious में दोनों अलग ही plant है.
दोनों प्लांट अलग अलग है, इसलिए तो हम लोग हेट्रोथैलिक बोला ना, स्ट्रक्चर अलग अलग है, बॉडी अलग अलग है,
लेकिन species same है.
स्पीशीज सेम. वेरी गुड. not the right place to talk about it. Right, if I tell you it is xenogamy, would you understand? Done, everybody? Yes? So now we know what's a complete flower, what's an incomplete flower, what is a bisexual flower, what is a unisexual flower. We know what's a monoecious plant, flower thing. Monoecious plant. What is a dioecious plant? चलो ना, monoecious plant होगा, flower नहीं होगा अभी भी. Okay. Now we come to another aspect which is called symmetry. Right? सबने geometry पढ़ा है? Right? Symmetry पता है क्या है? Right? When a structure can be equally, right, divided into two halves, then it is called as a symmetrical structure. Right? Symmetrical structure. ठीक है? Even a small piece of cake coming in the house where there is a brother and a sister. Symmetry is very important. Right? Correct me if I am wrong. But symmetry is very important. Right? A chocolate to be divided into two equal halves. Symmetry is very important. Right? Should be a lot of people here who have siblings, na? Right? Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters agree only on one thing: how to disagree. How to disagree, right? You know, my father told me that when you have one child, you become a parent, and the moment you have the second child, you get promoted to being a referee. You're only separating both of them. Okay. Now symmetry. यहाँ पर we have three types of flowers according to symmetry. Look at this flower. The dotted lines are indicating the plane of division. So when you divide it from any given plane, is it dividing into two equal halves?
Yes.
That you say is actinomorphic. What is such a symmetrical flower called? It's an actinomorphic flower. The same thing if it happens in an animal. You will say it is a radially symmetrical animal. So animals के लिए term क्या use करते हैं हम लोग? Radial symmetry. और उसी चीज को plants में क्या use करेंगे? Actinomorphic. So when a flower can be divided into two equal halves in any radial plane मतलब passing through the radius, passing through the center, it is said to be actinomorphic. Like mustard, datura, chili, all are examples of actinomorphic flowers. And the symbol for actinomorphic, this is the symbol for actinomorphic.
Can you draw symmetry on chili?
On
Chili.
the flower will be like this only. Symmetry. Okay. Look at this symmetry. Is this red line indicating the line of symmetry here? Two equal halves? But can you draw something from another plane? No. So this is being divided into two equal halves only from one given plane. Right now? So उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे bilateral symmetry. But in plants you will call it as zygomorphic. Right? This type of symmetry in animals is bilateral. We are bilateral. Right? Line passing through center. Two equal halves. Okay. Bilateral. This is zygomorphic for plants. Plants में zygomorphic का symbol is the percentage sign. For example, pea, gulmohar, bean, cassia, they are examples of zygomorphic flowers. And the third obviously is asymmetrical. When you cannot divide it in two similar halves by any of the planes, it is an asymmetrical flower, as in case of canna. Now a special condition, asymmetrically कोई symbol नहीं है. Now a special condition. Can you see a flower having 3 petals here? 4, 5. Right? Now there could be a condition where a flower has 3 sepals, 3 petals, 3 stamen, 3 carpels. यानी जितने भी floral whorls है सब equally number. So अगर 3 है तो you say a flower is a trimerous flower. If all of them are 4, you say it's a tetramerous. If all of them are 5, you say it's a pentamerous. Right? So a flower could be trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous when the floral appendages, what are appendages? Floral whorls. The floral whorls are in multiples of 3, 4 or 5. See, these features are used to differentiate flowers from families or to identify whether they belong to the same group structure or not. Now, these are criteria for classification. The criteria for classification. Can I use one common term for this? Isomerous. Iso means same. So what is isomerous? Isomerous flower is one when the whorls are same in number. So can isomerous be either trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous? Okay. And the opposite condition would be heteromerous. The opposite condition would be heteromerous. मतलब the number of whorls would be different. So 3 sepal है, 4 petal है, 5 stamen है, 6 carpel है, exact, right ना? So सब अलग अलग होगा तो क्या हो जाएगा वो heteromerous हो जाएगा. और सब same है तो क्या हो जाएगा वो isomerous हो जाएगा. Yes ma'am, you asking something? It can be, but be satisfied with this. I beg your pardon?
Can you repeat isomerous by definition?
When the number of floral whorls in a flower are same, right now? It's an isomerous condition.
Sir, I did not understand the difference between isomerous and heteromerous.
All these are isomerous. Right? What is this condition, beta?
Trimerous.
So, what is trimerous? 3 sepal, 3 petal, 3 carpel, 3 stamen. Right? So, are these numbers same in all the whorls? Are these numbers same in all the whorls? So, when the number of all the whorls are same, you say it's an isomer. Iso means same. Iso means same. पढ़ा है ना isosceles triangle. केमिस्ट्री में आइसोटोप पढ़ा होगा, राइट? केमिस्ट्री में आइसोमर्स आया रहेगा. आइसो का मतलब क्या होता है? सेम. ओके. Flowers with bract. A bract. What is the definition of a bract? See, underline किया मैंने वहाँ पे. A reduced leaf-like structure found at the base of pedicel is called as a bract. Please, that is the definition of a bract. Reduced leaf found at the base of pedicel. So, if a bract is present, you say the flower is a bracteate flower, and if a bract is absent, you say it's a ebracteate flower. Bracteate, BR, ebracteate, EBR. That is a symbol. Right? सारे symbols important है, please. ये सब symbols chapter के end में काम आने वाले अपने को. And we want to construct something major out of this. And we all thought structure of flower is easy. या इट कुड बी 3, 6, 9 कुछ भी,
Okay.
तो ट्राइमेरस ही होगा वो, ठीक है. But these are the most common ones found. Okay. Yeah, you've done that, I know. Oh, हाँ, उसमें वो colorful bract है. It's not a green bract. See, all the structures in the plants na, according to their conditions, can get modified. Did we study that axillary bud can be modified to become a tendril? Or it can be modified to become a thorn? So, if the plant requires support, वो tendril बन जाएगा. If the plant requires protection, वो thorn बन जाएगा. If a plant requires more structures, it can become a branch also. So similarly are the other structures. Did we study in leaf that leaf base where we have stipules? So if the support is required, the stipule can become a tendril. The stipule can become a thorn. The stipule could be green to do photosynthesis. The bract could be green to do photosynthesis. The bract could be colorful to attract insects for pollination. The bract could be small. The bract could be whatever is the case and condition required, the structures can get modified. Right? That is what a bract you studied for bougainvillea. Okay. Okay. So till now we've done what's a complete flower, what's an incomplete flower, what's a bisexual flower, what's a unisexual flower. We've done what's a monoecious plant, what's a dioecious plant, what is a actinomorphic flower, what is a zygomorphic flower, a asymmetrical flower, what is a trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous flower, and finally what's a bracteate and a ebracteate flower. हम लोग अभी फ्लावर के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ही डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, प्लीज. ओके, ग्रेट. कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. इसको निकाल दूं मैं.
What is the symbol for actinomorphic?
I did give you. Then you're not paying attention. No. Now, we are trying to compare the position of these four floral whorls vis-a-vis each other. When we saw the diagram of the flower, did we come to know one thing? Calyx is always the outermost. And which is the innermost one? Gynoecium. Gynoecium is the innermost one. And I said that will never change. ये कभी change नहीं होगा. Now, with respect to thalamus, ये जो green structure दिख रहा है, it is the thalamus. If the shape of the thalamus changes, the position of the four floral whorls can change ऊपर नीचे, not outer to inner. That will remain the same. So we will check the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to gynoecium. So our reference point will be gynoecium. Our reference point will be gynoecium. So we are checking the position of calyx, corolla and androecium with respect to gynoecium. So gynoecium is going to be our reference point, please. So in some flowers, we find that calyx, corolla, androecium gynoecium के नीचे आ जाते हैं. Gynoecium के नीचे आ जाते हैं. Look at this case. ये thalamus है. This is the calyx. This is the corolla. This is the androecium. This is the gynoecium. Everybody can identify that, please?
Yes, sir.
Towards the last bench, yes, please. The last structure, yes.